Hi, this is Mark Helm, and I'm going to start a vlog on my journey to achieving a double bodyweight squat. Um, so just kind of explain who I am and why I'm making this recording, really. So I'm a strength and conditioning coach and a lecturer in sport and exercise science and biomechanics, just about finishing my PhD. I have been actively involved in coaching for a long, long time, but for various reasons, I stepped away from active coaching and uh, end of lockdown coming through, gyms have reopened, and I felt the need to do something, um, push myself and apply some of the knowledge I've got and experience I've got into my own training. Um, I've been talking a lot about what it means to be strong, and the gold standard of strength in the strength and conditioning circles has always been considered to be a double body weight squat, and it's something I've never done. So it was an obvious choice for me to try and have a go at that. So I suppose explain a little bit about me and why my story might be of interest to anybody or nobody. So I'm currently 42 years of age, and that's a significant thing for me because um, at this point in time, strength is supposed to decrease, muscle mass is supposed to decrease, lots of things get worse, which makes it a really hard challenge to accomplish and makes it even more worthwhile trying to do. And obviously, that has a long-term health benefit for me if I can achieve that. Obviously, it's a bit more diversity to try and overcome. Obviously, as a strength and conditioning coach, you've been around strength training for such a long time, but for whatever reason, I've been inconsistent with it. I've not been doing anything consistently to try and get better, time or energy or injuries or whatever it happened to be. As a consequence of that, I've never considered myself to be particularly strong. I think my best ever one rep max for a back squat is 150, which is all right, but no more than all right. Um, so another thing that makes this particular challenge more ambitious is like it's way beyond anything I've ever done before. And obviously doing that at plus 40 is something that makes it um, even more kind of demanding. Um, Add on to that the lockdown has made me detrained. I've not had access to any resistance training equipment whatsoever for probably at least 16 of the last 18 months. So my um, training status is very minimal. Um, I've put a lot more time into running and got a bit more aerobically fit, but that doesn't particularly help me squat twice my body weight. I'm a father of one, of a toddler, 3-year-old. In the next 6 months, I'm going to be having my second child, so that's something else to make it a little bit more demanding, a bit less time, less sleep, and all the things that come with being a new father again. So, yeah, not currently coaching anybody. And again, that's the thing I just mentioned there. It's something I really want to kind of put into practice, feel like I'm training myself, following my own advice, and not kind of let myself slack into some bad habits, and really kind of push myself to achieve something really ambitious. So that's kind of a little bit about me and who I am and why I'm having a bit of a crack at this. Whether anybody listens to this, watches this, I really don't know. But if anybody does and finds it useful and helpful and helps them get on to pushing themselves on, then that's fantastic. So, who am I today? So, this is Monday, 12th of April, the first day the gyms have been open since lockdown. Uh, it's not particularly nice reading this, but kind of laying myself bare for the public to have a look at. Um, where I am today is at 97.7 kilos. That means it's a fairly impressive size of squat, um, but not something that I think I should be kind of happy to sit at and something I don't particularly want to sit at. 28% body fat, that is not a nice number to see and certainly not a nice number to put in the public domain, but there it is for all to see. Muscle mass at 39%, that is supposed to be going down. I'm 42 years of age and I'm not supposed to be losing muscle, not gaining it. So that's something I'm going to fight in the fight against and certainly trying to push up rather than let it go down again. So what I've tried to do is create some numbers that might be more helpful to me to achieve my goal. So obviously the more weight I can lose, the lower that double body weight squat comes down. So if I targeted 90 kilos, that means it's a 180 kilo back squat. That's still a heavy amount of weight to lift. But obviously at my current weight, I'm having to lift nearly 15 kilos more than that, which is even more than I really want to lift. But I can't just drop 7.7 kilos. That's not going to be helpful if I do that, if I just try to lose a stone. So what I've had a look at here is distance to target, and my target here is based not only on the number, the actual mass number, but an ideal body fat percentage, muscle percentage, So I see that's a 7 kilo increase in muscle mass. That's a lot of muscle to add on. I'm aiming to do this in 12 months. So that's probably something I should have said at the beginning. So I'm not trying to do this in the next couple of weeks or anything like that. Over 12 months, that's an ambitious amount of weight to put on. But I've not been training very much. So that kind of helps me a little bit in the fact that I've got a detrained position to start from. So hopefully that can come back up relatively soon. And 13% body fat to lose. I think that's, again, a very ambitious target. Certainly I've not been that light for a very, very long time, but something that's kind of, I think I've set out there as part of the larger ambitious project that I'm trying to do. So that's an increase of 11% of muscle mass, a 13% drop in body fat percentage, but as you can see, I've got plenty to lose. And here's my distance to target. So hopefully over the next coming weeks and months, I can start to chip away at some of these numbers. So how am I going to kind of attack this as a problem? So as I said, I'm a sports scientist, strength and conditioning coach, biomechanist. So there's not lacking in knowledge. And hopefully over the next 12 months, some of these vlog posts will profile how I've approached that for my own training and show you some of the kind of training practice I'm going to get up to. The things like periodization, the use of force velocity profiling, velocity-based training, all the different things that exist to inform how we can get stronger. But at the minute, I don't need any of that. I'm too detrained to really have that make any difference to me. I just need to do the basics. I need to start training again. So I just need to do some fundamentals. I need to just go back and get to the gym and start squatting. I need to be sensible about that as well. I'm a detrained 42-year-old. I can't just go back in the gym and rip in from day one. I have to build the base slowly. So I put on just using the DeLon Watkins system, which is a 3x10 approach. That's a lot of people have heard of before. But typically 3x10 is where people go in and put the same weight on the bar for all 3 sets. Well, that's not strictly how that system was designed. The idea was you have one really hard work set at the end at 100% of your 10 RM, but the 2 previous sets are at 50 and 75%. Now that might not cut it for me in a few months' time when I've had a good experience of training for some consistent months. But for now, that seems ideal. And while I'm doing that, there's another thing we can look at, which is to really use this kind of foundational phase to attack body composition, which it needs doing. And I have a relatively simple plan for that. Dietary intake of around about 2,400 kilocalories a day. So that's still, I'm not starving myself by any stretch of the imagination. I'm trying to target 2 kilograms per kilo of body weight of protein. So that for me would be at the minute around about that kind of 180 grams, slightly bit, maybe close to 200 grams of protein per day. So if I can do those 2 things, that should help me take care of a lot of the body composition goals, and try to maintain my aerobic training during this period of time as well, for a couple of reasons. It's a great calorie burner. It's certainly a better calorie burner than strength training is. Strength training is not particularly fantastic for burning calories. You're not going to get a big deficit for that, which is why it's important to keep on top of your dietary intake. But if I can have some bigger calorie deficit days on those aerobic training days, so I don't feel like on a strength training day I have to maintain a big calorie deficit, I think that'll be a big help for me as well. So that's me. Just a very quick introduction about what I'm doing, where I'm going, and why I'm doing it. And if anybody likes the journey, then fantastic. If not, great. Hopefully you'll find something else to look at. Brilliant. Thank you.